Start this year's vital. Darlington in white looked lively early on, almost scoring in the 6th minute. A minute later they did. Defender Peter Robinson's header deceiving the Sunderland defence. Darlington's front two, Curry and MacDonald, were always dangerous in the break. MacDonald denied on this occasion by Gary Bennett. In an entertaining half, Sunderland's best move almost produced a spectacular goal. The season's hardly started, but there won't be many better worked goals than Darlington's second, finished by Alan Roberts. Sunderland had played some attractive football, but beating Jeremy Roberts in the Darlington goal was another matter. It took them until the 68th minute to score. Mark Proctor shot from the corner, leaving Roberts unsighted. Darlington had fallen away in the second half, and Sunderland were now pressing for an equaliser, but their finishing was poor. Durchin's miss was our last real chance, but what had been a sporting contest degenerated in the dying minutes after a tussle between Buchanan and Bonnyman. Sunderland's Steve Doyle, one of several players getting involved. When the dust settled, Bonnyman and Doyle were ordered off. A disappointing end for Darlington manager Dave Booth.
It was very unfortunate from our point of view, and well, I think Dennis feels the same, but I'm hoping that we should...
A storming start to their league career was enough to have some fans secretly dreaming of following Oxford or Wimbledon. But the part-timer's realistic manager Neil Warnock has never aimed higher than mere survival. And he knew that Darlington under new manager Dave Booth were just beginning to show their form and would give Borough their toughest test to date. It was a fear that soon proved well-founded, as David Curry rose to Alan Roberts' free kick to warn keeper Kevin Blackwell he was in for a busy afternoon. The Quakers' all-ex-Middlesbrough forward line was full of ideas. When David Curry set up his striking partner Gary MacDonald, the big number 9 squandered an excellent chance. Darlington were having few problems creating chances, taking them was another matter. And Scarborough were again discovering the lesson their manager had already learned about life in the 4th Division. Pressure finally paid off, ironically after one of Scarborough's rare sorties forward. With 5 minutes left in the half, Alan Roberts once again broke loose, attacking the enemy's left flank with pace and purpose. His pass found David Curry in the middle, who neatly sidestepped his marker and tucked away the chance with complete composure. It was Curry's 6th goal of the season and rounded off a stylish first half for the Quakers. The fans were clearly impressed, and on the hour Darlington effectively made the point safe. Assistant manager Phil Bonnyman took the time to look up and pick out substitute Kevin Stonehouse, who was delighted to do the rest. Scarborough 2 down. Maybe being only part-time was to blame. It certainly hadn't made stuck to their task, pulling a goal back 7 minutes from time. Ian Bennyworth had the final shot, though it needed a little help before finding the net. 2-1 the final score, and perhaps another chapter in Scarborough's soccer education. But definitely Darlington's afternoon, with a performance that helped Dave Booth win over a few more sceptics on the terraces.
Well, I think today's gone a long way towards it. We've gone away from home and played particularly well. And I think the players have had slight repercussions from last season at home. And the crowd were quite rightly getting onto them at times, possibly too quickly. But today, I think, has erased quite a lot of that, and hopefully they can go away thinking, well, hey, this is what they've been doing away, then we've got a lot to look forward to.
It was always going to be a hard battle, though when their number 4, Phil Bonnyman, came through a fitness test, they received a substantial boost. Early on, Watford gained few admirers. Darlington, though, were keen as terriers. David Curry intercepting there, but before Gary MacDonald can shoot, the defender boots the ball well out of the danger area. Darlington's eagerness pays off again. Eventually to Curry, and he isn't going to be robbed by anyone. But perhaps he's held on too long, and the shot comes to nothing. Elton John's side may have been playing somewhat off-key for the first half, but that's about to change. Seconds after the restart, and that's a warning for Darlington if ever there was one. Right on the hour, and the throw-in catches Darlington out. Gary Porter's shot, and it's in off the post. Now Watford are playing like a First Division side. Roberts heads down, and Senior with a simple goal. 2-0 down now, but Curry for one hasn't given up hope. His determination creates a chance for Stephen Bell. But by now, Watford have it just about sewn up. And a wonderful 30-yard goal from fullback Nigel Gibbs seals it for Darlington. A 3-0 defeat, but no disgrace.
They've done very well tonight. We haven't had many clear-cut chances at all. I think we had one disallowed, but I mean it was well offside. So really, they've shut us down well at home because we haven't been creating chances.
So no complaints in the end?
Not really. How can you complain when you don't make chances? And I mean they've scored 3 goals. It's might as well tell the truth.
Dave Booth's men kept at it, and Dave Curry so nearly pulled a goal back, but once again Coton was equal to it. From the resulting corner taken by Ward, Curry actually found the Watford net, but the celebrations were short-lived. Referee Fitzharris had spotted an infringement. 5 minutes from time, with Luther Blissett on for Watford as sub, they ensured the second leg at Vicarage Road would be a formality, as fullback Nigel Gibb made it 3-0 with a superb 25-yarder. Darlington won't be killing any giants.
August uncorked the blockage against Darlington. Best of their 8 goals was by fullback Nigel Gibbs, who scored from even further out than he did in the first leg. And while that put the smile...
Over 3,500 were at Feetham's on Saturday for the 4th Division derby against arch rivals Hartlepool. It was a game that never threatened to live up to expectations.
Darlington have developed a special strain of homesickness this season. They've yet to win at Feetham's. Quaker striker Gary Worthington tried to find the cure early on, but he who hesitates. 10 minutes before the interval, it was take 2 for Worthington, but again he wanted too much time, and Pool's keeper Mobley was able to block the shot. Soon afterwards, a rare Hartlepool foray saw Darlington keeper Batch save Baker's overhead effort. The half ended, though, with the home side on the offensive. Surely the experienced David Shearer would break the deadlock on his home debut, but this dour derby was destined to remain goalless. Hartlepool stepped up a gear in the second half, Andy Toman forcing Batch into making the save of the match. And Bob Moncur's side could have burgled the points had Tony Barrett's shot not struck the foot of the post. 0-0 the final score, definitely not a classic.